So tonight we are super stoked to be welcoming Quote the Raven to the show.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So stoked to have you.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having us. Yeah.
Can you tell us, first of all, will you introduce yourselves? And then also, will you tell us where you're coming to us from today?
My name is Jordan.
My name is Kirsten. We are called the Raven, and right now we're in Gatineau, Quebec, but we are from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Very cool.
Good stuff. So we'll just start off hitting with the questions. And the first one is,
Cool.
how did you become a band and how did you both get into doing music as a career?
Uh, a lot of it's like by accident, I think. For me, I had like an ex girlfriend who played guitar and loaned me a guitar, and then I started playing guitar a little bit and messing around with songwriting. I was writing a lot of poetry in high school and stuff, and just kind of put the two together. And then I met Kirsten in.
We met in like a local choir. So basically, neither one of us really did music in high school. So it was actually when we were done. We went to two separate high schools. We're from the same community. There's only two, but we went to different ones. And Jordan was started teaching lessons at the music school that I eventually joined to do piano and voice. And yeah, I think we got convinced to join the choir that they had, which was like 6 people. So very small
Wow.
group of people.
Yes.
We were the youngest, and they asked us to do a duet one day, and we sang together, and they just thought our voices blended really nicely. And it's kind of just been, I don't know, rolling
Snowballing
from
ever
there.
since, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how did you choose the name? We know it's an obvious quote, but how did you decide to pick that name? Because we think it's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Honestly, like I threw out about 10,000 suggestions to Kirsten,
I was
and
very picky.
a lot of them were just blatant no's. And like anytime I would get like a hint of an inkling like that she might like it, I was like, well, can we edit it? So I said "quoth the Raven" one day, which is the direct quote from the Raven, and she was like, and that was enough of a reaction for me to be like, can we?
Because I had read the poem by Edgar Allan Poe in school, and I think a lot of people do, and Jordan had as well. And so when I heard it, I was like, oh, I really love that. I just feel like maybe we can like try and make it a bit more modern, because I don't know, it's just very old language. So I was kind of like, maybe we can just call it "Quote the Raven," and it just kind of stuck. But it's funny because before that, where his name is Jordan, mine is Kirsten, we were JK for just kidding, because we thought, never in a million years could this be a career for us.
Yeah.
So we quickly changed that when we were like, maybe we can. Maybe we can do this. So yeah,
Love it.
And then like Jordan said, the first, like, he wrote poems in high school, so a lot of the first EP that we did that you can find online is a little bit even more like somber and sort of like dark, sort of. So it really fit at that time as well, so it just stuck. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. I love
Yes.
finding out how people get their names.
The origin story.
Yeah, we should tell you we're not really a legit band, but we're trying, So we named ourselves Nashville Hot Chicken,
I
Yes.
love it.
which is
Really?
funny because we're not from Nashville.
Right.
We don't eat meat
And we don't like spicy.
and we don't like spicy stuff. So
That is amazing.
Oh wow.
I love
like-
it.
So it's all lies.
yes.
All lies.
So, but we are two sisters trying to get into, doing songwriting and that kind of stuff. We're learning piano and we're learning guitar, which is very hard for us, but we are enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
So you
Love
mentioned your
Nashville hot chicken.
oh,
No, that's great.
We do. It's very spicy,
I've actually-
but we do like it.
I've actually never had it.
No,
which I think
same.
is even funnier.
Maybe you like it then. You'll have to try.
There we go. I know.
Yeah.
Nashville
A lot
hot
of tongue.
cauliflower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'll
was
do
gonna say the
that.
cauliflower version. Yeah.
I would try that. I would try it. So you were talking about your EP, which makes me think about the new album that just came out in April.
Yeah.
Tell us about how that came to be.
I feel like we put the last one out during the big break. Like we don't
Just
want
after,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just after.
Yeah.
And we had kind of been sitting on it for so long that we started writing like this current record. So it felt like a bit of a whirlwind. Like it's still been like a couple of years since the last record came out, but it felt like as soon as we had it out, we were ready with the next one. So we've kind of been working on it ever since. And I think, yeah, like our process is very much like co-writing. We really
We
love
love to do
co-writing
that,
with
yeah.
other people, and just I think what it does is it kind of road tests the song like immediately. You know, oftentimes if we're writing something just the two of us, we'll bring it out on the road and it'll get its, you know, it'll get edited in that process of like, you know, maybe a year or two of playing it. But I find co-writing, we do that process immediately. So we've just kind of been co-writing, and we made a real initiative to kind of work with people in Newfoundland that we hadn't worked with before. So that was a big goal for us for this record.
That was really fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Does one of you, when you're, well, I guess if you're co-writing, you're probably doing equal amounts of work. I was going to say, does one of you like do the music and does one do the lyrics, or is it kind of all together?
I think it's all together, but it depends. So, like, when we first started, I was like, I'm not a writer at all. I didn't feel confident about it. I still don't feel very confident about it. I'm getting better. So, a lot of the times, you know, Jordan might take a verse and a chorus, like the start of a song, to me, and we would work on it. I might edit the lines or tell him, you know, I don't think the audience will understand what you're saying there. I know what you're trying to say, but, like, let's edit it. So, I called myself the editor at the time. And when it comes to co-writes, yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, someone else in the group might say, you know, this is what I've been through, or this is what I want to write about, and you kind of try and connect on that level and then write about something that they want to say. So it can be a bit of everything. I know a couple songs Jordan just started jamming, and we were just saying random things, and then we were like, oh, we could create this really cool story around what you just said, and like, so I think sometimes they're personal, sometimes they can just be like creative stories that you kind of come up with, and I don't know, I feel like it's every different possible way, which I think is fun. I think some people have a very set process, but it's kind of fun when you're in a room with other people and see how they work and just kind of like feel what they're doing, kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
How do you pick who you co-write with, other than obviously the two of you write together? How does that come about?
Well, we've been very fortunate, like here on on the, well, we're not on the East Coast right now, but on the East Coast, there's a lot of like songwriting camps, like part of like conferences and stuff like that. So we've been lucky to do a bunch of those that have kind of led to friendships that led to other songs and stuff like that.
Cool.
The first record that we did was like our producer Chris Kirby and publisher at the time had 9 writers from all across Atlantic Canada like come to write first specifically for us.
Wow.
Cool, because that's not typically how songwriting camps work. It's sort of just like whatever comes about, but they all got together knowing that they were helping us write our album. It was our very first full length. It was pretty cool, but it was also intimidating because we didn't know pretty much anyone that was there.
Yeah.
It was our first time doing that, so it was like a little bit intimidating, but we made so many friends that way. And yeah, I think you're right. Like, you know, even if we play a show with an artist and we're like, wow, like we have a similar sound or something, maybe you'll want to collaborate. Sometimes it can be someone that's nowhere near the kind of music that you do, but you still come up with something cool because then it takes in an element of what they do. So I hate to say that it's like all different ways because maybe that's not super helpful to everyone, but maybe it is though, because anything goes, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
I think it can be. I mean, I don't know that we necessarily have a good process down, but
we're learning.
But I mean, we are slow to the music part, but we're both writers. Right. And so, yeah, obviously lyrics come first. So it's always interesting to find out like how other groups do it, how, you know, if it sounds like it's a different way every time, which I think is really cool.
Yes. And I mean, it makes it so that you're not telling people it's limited to this one way, you know?
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so like a different puzzle every time, you know? That's
yes.
It's like, and what you contribute can differ as well. Like you usually try and play to your strengths, but like there are times where like you might have another skill set that someone else in the room doesn't necessarily have, and then that's what you're contributing. So like that's what I love to do is like kind of figure out like, okay, well maybe I'm the musician like from a chord perspective this time, and someone else is the storyteller, or vice versa, or you know that.
Because sometimes
kind of
camps are like that too. Like they'll put you in groups depending on what they think your strong suit is or what you say it is. So like they might want like someone who produces music, because sometimes even they want you to kind of have a demo at the end, which is kind of interesting. So they kind of want you to record something. So they'll say, oh, like who feels comfortable, you know, engineering, producing kind of deal. And then they'll be like, okay, who wants to be the artist that this song is written for? And then who feels good about melodies, who feel whatever, and that's kind of how you create your group. So that's been pretty cool too.
Yep.
Do you two get to stay together, or do they split you up?
They usually try and split us up, and I get really.
She's like, no.
I'm like so anxious about it because I don't feel super strong in any of it, and I know that I should at this point feel fine. And there's been lots of songs where I write a whole verse and part of a chorus and whatever, but I don't feel super strong at it, so I always feel like I'm going to be a burden to other people. So I'm always like, if you could just keep us together, it'd be so nice. But they want to challenge me too, so I get that. But it is scary sometimes.
I bet. Yeah.
I was going to say, I get it, but I would be the same. I'd be like, no, we're a group. We're a group.
We need to be together. Yeah.
We're together. Yeah.
Cool.
So we kind of talked a little bit about it, but for our listeners, how would you describe your sound? What would you, if you had to label it, what would you describe it as?
That's always been a tough thing for us. Just because like we kind of said, like the songs come from so many different places, so like they are kind of inspired in the moment. But as a result, like Americana really helps that label, like for us, it's a blanket kind of, you're in between country, pop, folk, and rock, and I think that's the line that we love to play, and that way we don't have to like pigeonhole ourselves into like a specific production type or song.
I think the only thing that we try and keep consistent is harmony, but that comes naturally to what we love to do, so it's like automatically going to be in the songs. But we did actually go to Nashville one time for Americana Fest, and that was when we realized that could be a genre for us, because you'd go to one show when it was like heavier on the rock but still had the storytelling of folk, still felt folky in a way, and then you go to the next one and it's like, oh, everything is super catchy, sort of poppy, but you still felt folky. So it was like, it's the Misfit Toys. We can be here. we can say we're a part of this, I think.
I would say yes. I would, for sure.
Yeah.
So we don't normally do this, but I want to know, can you tell us how you wrote the song "Oh Lena"? Because I fell in love with it. So I want to know the story behind it.
Great thing to ask.
I have like couch songs. Like I'm at home and I'm in like the middle of the night, like it's way too late and I shouldn't be strumming my acoustic guitar. So we have downstairs tenants, like that.
Oh no.
But yeah, like that one came to me. Like my niece's name is Lena, and she's so awesome. So I that's obviously where the inspiration came. But yeah, I think I sat down with the acoustic guitar one day. Let's see if I got it.
Oh, we're getting the guitar out.
Oh, Lena.
He had like the chorus.
Magic ballerina.
I think, right?
Or something like that. Dancing like a rocket around the room. Oh, Lena. And I was just like kind of spitballing. You make me a believer. And so like that was basically what I had for the song. And we ended up doing a virtual session with Catherine McKellen from Prince Edward Island, amazing musician, and Victoria House. So it was the three of us in a Zoom, right, kind of thing, and yeah, like she just kind of like, I was so full of like doubt of like, when a song comes too easy, like I feel like, oh, it needs to be better, and Catherine was like, leave this alone. Like there's so much greatness in this, and it's the story that you're telling about your niece, so it's going to be true no matter what you kind of say. And so I really took that to heart, and we finished the song together, and it's one of my favorites on the record as well, just for obvious reasons,
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. It's so fun to kind of dig into a song and see where it comes from. That's always what I love, is the story, what came behind the story. And like you said earlier, sometimes it is just a made up storytelling type of thing, but sometimes it's real personal. But then it can become personal to your audience too. So I think that's just making it universal like that, which I love. Olena. And I'll tell you a funny story about it is my Great Dane, whose name is Lyric, she leans, that's how she hugs. And so we call her Lena. And so when we heard it, we were like, it's Lyric.
I love that. That is so sweet. It's a funny one because we've had a few people named Lena like reach out and be like, I finally have a song, or there was one woman commented and it's like, my daughter's name is Lena and she's like the best in the world and this song really resonates. So it's cool. It's one of those things where it's like there's only so many Lenas in the world, but I think, like you say, like there's these moments where it transcends just that as well. So it's really special.
Very cool. Okay, we're going to go back to writing a little bit and pick your brain a little bit about what you do if you get stuck, if you have writer's block. How do you get past that?
There's a couple things.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you just have to skip. So, if it's a verse, for example, and you're like, okay, this line, the last line of this verse just not coming. I think if you get too hung up on it, then you get in your head and then you can't move forward. So sometimes we will just skip and try and write the second verse. What is the second verse about? Or maybe the chorus and then come back to it. Other times we've just like asked people, like musicians that we know, like Chris has helped us a bunch sometimes, like with just like little things where we're like, this doesn't really fit, or just can't figure out how to say this thing in a short and condensed way. Like, this is what we want to say, but how do we say it? So sometimes just like asking other musicians, or just skipping over it and coming back, I feel like works.
I'm a very big proponent of like writing it anyways. Like if there's a song in your head, like this melody that you keep coming back to, write the worst song possible just to get it done. Like, get it out of your head, and then the cool thing is what you'll do is, like, you'll have a voice memo of it somewhere, and you may have forgotten about it because it's something that's out in the ether now, and eventually, like, I've come back to these ideas that I was like, I'm not even going to finish, like, like, it's finished, but I'm not going to look at it again, and I'll go back to it, and I'm like, wait now, like, this is super pertinent to what my life is like right now, and there's, like, maybe one line that you come back to that makes the most sense for something in the future, that I think if you keep getting stuck on it and you like keep bringing it up at every write, you don't feel the progression that you should feel just by completion. I think completion is an important thing, whether it's a good completion or a bad completion. Like, you don't have to record a song. Like, it doesn't have to go out there. Like, you want them all to, but at the same time, like, everybody's going to write a stinker, so.
I think it's good. That's a really good point, and it's good to remember, like, they don't all have to be shared with everyone.
Yes.
As long as you can get that finality
that
on the paper.
for you. Plus, maybe it wasn't the time for that song. Maybe later it will come up. Like you said, it comes up in the future again. So I love this. I love this discussion.
I do too. So I know that you guys tour a lot and you've been together for quite a while. What do you do to maintain like mental, physical well-being while being musicians full time?
We're not the best people to ask about that.
Neither are we, so that's why we ask.
This can be hard because, well, especially like me and Jordan are very different. I am social in social settings, but I really love to be alone. Jordan feels awkward in social settings, but he always wants someone around. So,
Love it.
It's like it is hard. So I think you do have to kind of like try and just understand the person that you're touring with and try and give them their time, but also respect that they might be feeling antsy. So you have to kind of like it can be difficult with different personalities and stuff. We are lucky though that we are nerds, so we do tend to like go to movies that we both know that we're gonna love. We love like sci-fi and arcades. We go to arcades all the time. Child gambling,
good.
Terrible, but we love a good arcade.
Love it.
Food, like
food,
and we try not to eat bad on the road. Like that's
it's very difficult.
Very much a foodie, but like instead of going to McDonald's, like Kirsten's cut out McDonald's for the past, I think it's like 3 years now or something like that.
Which I mean is silly because I'll just go down the road and have something else.
Burger King.
But like maybe if I just like cut them out, over time.
Yep.
But I as a result, like I don't go there as often, like when we're on the road and stuff like that. So like we often try and find like healthy compromises. We eat a lot of sushi and like stuff that feels a little bit healthier than like the fast food burger. Like it's not that we won't have that, but like more often than not, we're gonna have like an actual meal for supper, which is really nice. So.
We also we tend to do really long drives, and we're used to it because being from Newfoundland, we oftentimes drive. So we do the 9 hours across the island to get a 6-hour ferry to go 4 hours to Halifax. And so that is sort of the drive just to play one show at the beginning of our tour. So we're used to the long drives, but I also would say that it's okay to take a day to just relax. Yeah. When we first toured, Jordan would do a lot of cold calling. He'd book 4 to 6 weeks at a time, and we would be playing almost every single night. It was hard. We were younger, so it was a little bit easier.
And the pay was the pay was only a couple $100, so you had to play every night. You know what I mean? Just to make ends meet, really.
True. Yeah. But I think now we're okay, it is important to take that day every now and again to just do nothing or just relax. You know,
see friends.
We try not to do long drives before a show. There's certain things that we've learned. Sometimes we will, of course. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but there's certain things like that. What else do we do?
I think those are the big ones, you know.
See friends along the way. We know so many musicians now, especially around Canada. So we always try to make, time to see other people. Break up the two personalities, You have two personalities all the time. You need someone else to just come in for a little while. Stuff like that. So, I don't know. I feel we've learned this.
Life lessons on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan likes to pretend that it's only me that feels this way, but...
So what's coming next? Great. What's up next for you guys?
I mean, we're touring pretty much all summer. We've got a bunch of gigs in Ontario and stuff like that, and then we fly off to Denmark. We're playing at Tunerfest in Denmark.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have one show in Germany before we go as well. We just picked up a little thing at a cafe, which is nice. And then we're doing a pretty cool show in Newfoundland when we go back in October. It's sort of like our album release, which is kind of silly because it's been out so long, but we were maybe we can build the hype a little bit. We also are getting records printed, vinyls.
Yay!
So that'll sort of be like the vinyl release. So that'll be fun at the Majestic Theater there. So that'll be good.
That's a big one. And then all fall we're going to be across Canada again. We're doing Atlantic Canada in November, and then in October we're going to be in Western Canada. So the dates have slowly started rolling out for all of those, over the last couple of days actually. And really looking forward to it because Canada's pretty big, so it's it's nice to be able to say that we've seen so many corners of the country, and trying to do a little bit more internationally and stuff. We spent 7 weeks in Australia last year, and
so cool.
Yeah, life changing. Honestly, it was one of the coolest experiences ever. So,
yeah, Australia is my dream trip.
I'm so happy to hear you say that because I guess it's a place that most people feel like they'll never make to if they're on this side of the earth because it's just kind of so far away. But I've always thought, wouldn't it be amazing when we got that opportunity? Now I'm just telling everyone, I know it's a lot of money. I know it's a really long flight. It's not fun, but it's completely worth it. And you have to go.
You only live once, right?
Scary. Yeah. I didn't see anything scary. I don't like bugs, okay? I really don't like bugs. And I seen one spider and it was teeny.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I love
it. See, now I know I can go.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about the vinyl because
yes,
people sell.
Yeah, we'll be ordering.
Yes,
get them for sure.
It's so exciting. All right, are we ready for our big four? We're going to ask you our big four questions that we ask everyone.
Okay.
The first one is, what was your first gig and your favorite gig so far? So your first gig together, I guess that might make it easier.
Okay, so besides a choir thing,
that was
probably...
the Levy in St. John's. So Gene Brown was the owner of a bar in downtown St. John's, and we would perform there every Wednesday night from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m.
To close.
Or close sometimes. And there would be literally no one there, and we would just be so excited to have the opportunity, and that's really where we honed our craft. And
he was a very big supporter of up and coming musicians,
Yeah.
which was great.
And
I mean, the times
awesome.
were late, but understandably so.
yeah.
But he would, he was really supportive.
And
in
he
that
didn't
way.
care if anybody was there or not,
He was
and
like, that's fine.
he would keep asking us to come back, and I, you know, it was one of those opportunities that are rarer and rarer nowadays, because
Yeah.
obviously, you know, like, he was taking a big loss every night that kind of happened, and there wasn't really much that we could do. It was just the nature of original music and newer bands in a weekday and stuff
Being
like
so
that.
late.
So
Mhm.
we try to draw people out, but like, everybody's going to work the next day. And
It's so late.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
So late.
part of the culture in Newfoundland, like
Yeah.
late night bar
Yeah.
gigs and stuff, which is not really our home anymore. Like, that's not where we kind of focus our stuff on.
Our
But,
genre doesn't really make sense for it.
no, but it was a great place to get started,
You know.
right? So
Yeah. What was our favorite? Was that the other
Yeah.
part?
Yeah.
So far, we always say, so far.
So far, true, because it could change.
Australia's Small Halls.
You know what? It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. So it was Festival of Small Halls. So they hire an artist, usually internationally, to go on tour with artists from Australia, and they have a whole route. They have different routes done up. We did coastal Queensland, which was beautiful, but it was all kind of like rural spots, so very small town at their town halls or community centers
Lions
and
clubs.
Wow.
Lions clubs. Yeah, and it was so much fun because I think, you know, most people go to the bigger hubs for the touristy attractions, which we seen the first time we were there. It was great, but I think we seen so much more of how people live and like what the country's really like doing that, and met really kind, genuine people who were just so happy to have entertainment in their space. They were very much the islander kind of vibe, even though it's such a big country. It felt that way. Like, everyone's very helpful. The first time we were through, people were like, "Oh, if you come back, you can stay on our couch." And we were like, "Are we in Newfoundland? Like, what's going on?" Like, it was, I think the whole experience,
Yeah.
besides just playing the shows, just all of it was so amazing.
We did 20 shows in 30 days.
Wow.
With an artist from Brisbane, Haley Calvert, and we had a dedicated sound tech and a tour manager, and it was just like,
The tour manager drives the car. You don't have to do that. They set up everything pretty much. You have to take down at the end, like help everyone clean up. They have a tech van with all your tech stuff with a guy.
Wow.
Set that up. It's just they sell your merch. Like, you just go and play. It was kind of like, are we going to be spoiled? We're going to come back here? And we're like, why aren't tours like this everywhere?
That's called living the dreams.
Right.
100%.
We were living the dream, like 100%. Yeah,
Amazing
that
opportunity.
that was really fun. Yeah, I would have to agree with
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2.
Yes.
that. Okay.
Tell us who your influences are.
Ooh. I think it changes year to year. I love Foy Vance. I
Oh, me
love
too.
The Bros Landreth. I don't know if you know those guys.
I've heard of them, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've heard them.
So
So
Joey
good.
Landreth played the guitar solo on Olena.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Him and his brother are in a band called the Bros Landreth, and they are out of Winnipeg, and
Really
like
good.
like not pop rock, but like, again, Americana rock.
When we first started, we loved the Civil Wars. That was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
our be-all end-all of what we
Yeah.
loved.
I love
I love pop music. I truly do love pop music. I listen to
Korean
a lot
pop
of
music.
K-pop. I listen to like Conan Gray, Troye Sivan, Sabrina Carpenter.
yeah. It's been interesting because like
A lot of pop for me.
there's been
I
a
will
lot
say.
more electric guitar influence for us, and a lot more like not 80s yet, but I feel it kind of coming. Like there's the guitar tones have been shifting a little bit every now and again, and there's some chorus added to the effect, and you know, it's
Brandy Carlisle.
Brandy Carlisle,
That's a good one.
Chris
We love
Stapleton.
her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the, you know,
It's kind of all over the place. I
It
feel
is.
like we're going to see Rise Against this weekend. I don't
Oh,
know.
fun.
One of
Yeah.
my favorite bands ever. Like
That'd be fun.
AFI. Is
We
one of my
saw them
favorite
at
bands,
Warped
so-
Tour, I think.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Amazing. Yeah.
100%.
I'm so excited to see them again. So I feel like it's all over the place.
It is.
Linkin Park, I love.
Billy Talents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Very cool.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eclectic. Very eclectic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's anyone that you're listening to on repeat right now, or anything that you're listening to on repeat?
Oh, Niall McCabe. We played in Ireland last year. He's I don't know. I got a feeling that he's going to be like a big star in a few years, and he's just this killer singer songwriter. He's got a little bit of that Irish lilt, but a very modern, more
Production
indie folk
Sure.
kind of vibe, but pretty modern production on it. Really worth going to check out. His record Valhalla is one of my favorites, and I've
Oh,
listened
cool.
to it
Okay,
since
definitely
we-
checking it out.
Yeah, it's great.
For me, it's 100% Conan Gray. I think I've been listening to him on repeat for like a year.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very pop, but
80s pop.
well,
good.
his last record, yeah.
Yeah.
But singer-songwriter more so, most of his records. But yeah, I love him.
Love it.
Okay, question 4.
Yes.
Okay.
What advice would you give to new songwriters, musicians?
I think just do it. I know that sounds like super easy. But for us, you know, we look at so many musicians from home and how incredibly talented they are, and how even we can talk about just starting, just like getting started as well. But even if like you're in a band and you're just kind of like playing locally and you just feel like, this is it for me, or, you know, I can't do more, I just feel like you really have to keep trying and like just, you have to invest in yourself. It is a small business at the end of the day. Most small businesses do that. They're not making money at the beginning, and that's scary, and it's not for everyone, but we didn't think we could, and we just were like, we have to try. We went off island. We had a great time. Did we make a bunch of money? No, we were lucky. We did break even. But again, it's only 2 of us, so it's a little bit easier. But there's so many musicians from home that we know are world class, could be the best of the best, and it's just
it's always hard.
It's hard.
That's the thing. Like and same with songwriting,
especially on an island. So maybe that's a little bit more specific to the island, because it's so much money to leave. But yeah, I don't know. I think in Newfoundland too, and again, we can only kind of relate it to our experience, but I think in Newfoundland you feel so cut off. You feel like you're not in one of those hubs, even though Newfoundland's an amazing place for music.
Yeah, it's its own hub.
Yeah, you don't feel like the business side is really there. It feels impossible, but it is possible. Yeah, 100%.
I
Love
think
it.
as a songwriter, I think like recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses is so important. I think, you know, knowing what you bring to the table, like especially, you know, like, do you need to do co-writes? Like, if not, I think you should at least have someone who you trust, like a Bernie Taupin, and you know what I mean? Like you gotta. I think you really should have that person. You can be like, here's my heart and soul on a sheet of paper. Like, please tear it to shreds. Like someone who you can trust for their honesty. Because so many times, like, people are gonna tell you, "Oh, this is great," and great or good, like, without anything other than that, it's not helpful.
Yeah.
And I think at all points, like, you can get some sort of criticism, whether it's something that you take or not. I think it's important to be able to have that feedback and
be open to people's opinions.
Yeah, because I think without it, like, it's tough to grow. I think if you
Right.
find it so circular within yourself. Now, there's a lot of people who are, like, amazing singer-songwriters, and their songs are so personal that they can't write with other people. But I think it's still so important to have somebody past the writing point then just kind of say, like, okay, well, maybe we produce this a certain way, or whatever the case may be, just to kind of help.
And I think, like, even in saying that, you can also stick to your guns. You know, if you write a song that you love and you're like, okay, these people just don't get it, you will find someone who gets it.
Yeah.
Like, there is an audience for everyone. And we found that in Newfoundland too. And I think it was, yes, the time slot that we were playing, way too late for most of the people there. But our music was very like somber and very much slow, and like not what people were used to hearing all the time. And so it took a while for that to catch on. And if we had stayed there, I think it would have caught on, but it would have taken a lot more time, and maybe we would have quit because we would have just thought, oh, well, people don't like this, right? But I think sometimes it is okay to stick to your guns and be like, no, I like this song, so I'm going to continue to play it. But yeah, I think it is good to be open to people's feedback for sure, and just be willing to share it. I think that's the hardest part when you write something so personal. There's so many songwriters
Yeah.
who are like, I'm afraid to sing
Yes.
this to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So you need
Yep.
another person to make you feel like you can do it. Like, it's good. Sing it. You know. So, yeah.
Love it.
I do too. It's great advice. And I think it comes back to what we were talking about before too, with like universality. Is like if you have someone else to look at it, they're like, maybe this would make more sense this way.
Mhm.
Or, you know, if you're like things get so close that you're like, I can't see that maybe this doesn't make sense to other people.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yay.
Definitely.
Great
Yeah.
advice.
Good.
Okay. Yes.
Now it's time for your shameless plug. So tell us where we can find all your music, where we can, your social media, all that, Bandcamp or whatever you've got, Patreon, any of that stuff.
Yeah, our website is quotetheravenofficial.com.
Currently under a bit of construction, but all of the social media is linked there. The most important bits are there, so it will be updated. But everything is there. All our social media is Quote the Raven Duo, and yeah, you should be able to look us up on most of them.
Yeah.
Our music is on pretty much every streaming platform, and if it's not, please let us know because we will make sure it gets there.
And the vinyl will be out sometime this fall, right?
The vinyl will be, the technical official release date is going to be October 3rd. So.
And if anybody here wants one, you can just contact us and we will send it your way.
We ship those directly from the band. We do have an online store, but
for merch and for the CDs.
Vinyl are separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll send them. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh my gosh, this has been
amazing. So
fun.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
Thank you for asking us. We had a great time.